Hello and welcome to the Nerd Ninja Show, where we walk you through all the news, notes, and events happening in the nerd world. So, as usual, I'm going to start off with introducing my cohorts in crime here. Start off with Freddie, our resident comic book expert. Freddie, how are you doing today?
Doing pretty good, Captain. How'd you guys?
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Have a good weekend?
Yeah, I kind of sat on my ass.
Never mind.
Nice. Okay.
All right, and also we have with us is Super Craig, the nerd wonder.
Super
Super Craig. If you watched last week's show, you would get that. South Park game coming up. All right, Super Craig, how are you doing?
I am fantastic. Just had a great weekend.
Okay, good. I was about to say elaborate. He goes, I'm doing well.
Yes.
All right.
Thought that just explained it all.
All right. Well, you guys ready? We got a lot of stuff to get to today.
Let's do this. I have things to get done here and things to teach to these fine people.
All right. We'll
Wow.
find people out there. We are going to get started by what we usually do, and that is introduce the 5 finalists for the Cosplayer of the Week contest. Now, you guys have been voting all week, and you have determined that these fine cosplayers are the top 5 that will be featured tonight, and you cast your votes, and that will determine who the winner is. So let's take a look here and see what we have. Start off with number 1, Celine from
nice.
Underworld.
That's your jam right there,
By
Craig.
Stephanie Creighton.
Yes. That's fantastic. I love Underworld, so anyone
Good to
that
kill
actually does it,
some
that's
werewolves.
Really,
And,
I
and
love
actually, Kate Beckinsale was in Texas this weekend. She
Yeah.
was at Houston. with
Planet
Lollapalooza.
Houston.
Yes. All right. And let's see, number 2, we have got Genderbent Vegeta and Goku.
Nice.
All right,
Nice.
Both Z fans out there.
I
Kakarot.
like the
by
fact
Maddie
that they
Garlington.
got all bruised up and everything. That's pretty cool.
Well, they do battle, Craig.
Well, yes, but they don't.
They look
some
at
of the
each other,
cosplayers don't do
they
the
compliment
whole,
each other, and then
bruise
they
or anything.
berate each other. That's where the bruises come from.
That's how it works. All right, coming in at number 3, we've got Professional Darth Vader and Boba Fett by the Super Scrub Brothers.
Man, straight up G's right there.
And they're,
Nice.
they're doing business. What are you expect these guys to wear when they go into a business meeting?
I don't know, but it looks like Cena Leon the Professional.
Okay. I'd go with that. But it looks like they are ready for business.
Yeah.
They do
That's
look
right.
professional.
Okay, and number 4, behold, the missing link.
Oh, that's
Cause
awesome.
for alarm cosplay.
All right.
That is
I
one
love
big
that.
bone.
That's pretty awesome.
Is that duct tape? I can't tell what that's made of.
I believe a dinosaur, Joe.
A dinosaur.
Yes.
Okay.
He killed one, resurrected
Killed
and
the
killed it.
dinosaur. Well, that would explain the bone.
Damn straight.
All right. And last but certainly not least, we've got Heaven Cosplay as Yoko Littner. And that is from the... Did we figure that one out?
Yep,
The
that's from
girl-
the.
Gurren Lagann.
That's right.
Yes.
A very formidable warrior. All right. So there are your top 5 finalists for our Cosplayer of the Week. Now remember to vote, which I think the instructions were put there on the screen. You hit exclamation point. You cast your vote by exclamation point, vote, spacebar, and then the appropriate number. And here's a look at all 5 of them. One last time before we get this show started. And take a quick look. There you go. And just remember, exclamation point, the word vote, hit your spacebar, and the corresponding number of the cosplayer you would like to vote for. And you can vote all throughout the show. You can only vote once, but as people come in, you can cast your vote. And at the end of the show, we will find out who our weekly winner is. There you go, guys. Let them start voting away.
All right.
So, let's get this show started, and we're going to start with something that just hot off the presses, just came out today. That's right. DC has dropped a whole bunch of stuff regarding Justice League. But first, we're going to take a quick peek at a new glimpse at a poster from a Wonder Woman movie. Check it out there.
Nice.
Some new graphics.
You look like you're gonna mess some people up.
Nice. Yes, I am so looking forward to the new Wonder Woman movie. I
Well,
mean,
and I think with Batman vs Superman, despite all the salty behavior that people have had and comments toward
Yep.
it, one of the bright shining stars in Batman vs Superman was Wonder Woman. She was
Yes.
fantastic. Gal Gadot came out and nailed the role. The look, the feel, the fight. I mean, everything about it was just fantastic. And I think that was the big positive thing that came out of that. And now I know tons of people are pumped to see her in action all by herself. What do you think? What do you think? Come on, Freddie. Craigie.
I mean,
Let's
dude,
go, guys.
I've been ready since Batman vs Superman because she's probably one of the best parts of the movie. I remember sitting in the theater just, oh my god, she's got the lasso of truth, taking out Doomsday and everything. It was pretty awesome. So I'm also a big avid fan of period pieces. So I'm anxious to see what we get from that World War II or World War I setting, I should say.
Yeah, because it is going to be a flashback, and we are going to see Chris Pine in crossing over to another genre of fantastic comic book stuff. Craig, what do you think?
I'm also super looking forward to this movie. She was the best thing out of Batman versus Superman. She looked and
That Martha.
yeah. And also loving to see that they chose World War I as their set piece, which is something that you don't see a lot. You always see her in World War II, but she would be old enough to be in there in World War I. So I'm really serious on how they're going to handle that.
Well,
Big
let me ask you
WW.
guys this. Let me ask you this question. So we're going to see her fight in World War One. Then we already saw her action in Batman vs Superman. Do you think they're going to make it some kind of transition to the future, a la Captain America, the way they did that, where the span of 70 years? Or are we going to just leave that open for more adventures throughout those time periods? What do you think they're going to do with that, Freddie?
I mean, I think you have it a lot easier with Wonder Woman than you did Captain America. Because Captain America, you had to freeze him. There was like
Yeah.
no in between time. But she's been around this entire time. You can get the Flower Child's time with the 60s. You can get every decade.
But do you think that'll be too campy if they do something like that?
I mean, I think they're going to do maybe possibly at the ending of the movie, like some flashbacks of, or a sequence that shows her through the ages till she hits present day into Justice League.
All right. I'll take that. Craig, what do you think?
I think what they'll be smarter is just leave it open for future stuff so that she could come out in World War II or maybe in the Korean War or Vietnam. And yeah, even
But we
the
got to
Flower
get
Child
her
stuff.
in the Justice League now. We
I
don't have time.
I know.
Marvel is
but
owning it. We don't have time.
that would leave it open
Get to the
for
Justice
some
League
great
now!
sequels ideas. You know.
Well,
and
speaking...
then and it wouldn't matter with the Justice League either because we always know they're going backwards in time and they didn't have to go forward. You know, like we got to wait.
That's
for
not how
it.
Warner Brothers thinks.
And I think that will be Craig's ridiculous theory of the show. That we always has one.
We can always go back in time.
We can
Hey,
always go back
it
in
works
time.
for the X-Men. It could work for Wonder Woman.
All right. Well, speaking of Justice League, they have come out with a whole bunch of new stuff for Justice League. So we've got the synopsis. They've released that. And here I'm going to read that for you guys right now. And fueled by his restored faith in humanity and inspired by Superman's selfless act, Bruce Wayne enlists the help of his newfound ally, Diana Prince, to face an even greater enemy. Together, Batman and Wonder Woman work quickly to find and recruit a team of metahumans to stand against this newly awakened threat. But despite the formation of this unprecedented League of Heroes, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Cyborg, and The Flash, it may already be too late to save the planet from an assault of catastrophic proportions. Along with this synopsis, we also got our first look at the logo, and here it is. Check that out, guys.
Oh, that's
That
incredibly lame.
is as underwhelming as it can get.
Damn it.
And by all means, throughout the show, please chat in and let us know what you think or any comments you have, because we'd love to hear your opinions. But that is the new Justice League logo.
What a letdown after a great synopsis. You know, that just sounds like the beginning of a great superhero movie, and then you show this block.
We have a
it's like,
But
star.
guys, there's a star.
There's a star.
There is a star.
wow, the Batman versus Superman logo looks so much better. It's just.
By the way, did you hear Zack Snyder said the V in Batman vs Superman doesn't stand for verses?
What does it
Really?
stand for?
He would not say, but it doesn't stand for verses.
God, I swear that guy's drunk.
Well, it's I mean, pretty much where could you go from Batman vs Superman up? So I guess this really isn't. I guess this would be a lateral.
Well, that dude Daniel does make a point. It's the same logo from a Justice League story about Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf. Magic Carpet Ride.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not the band, the
But
villain.
not
The
the
villain, yeah.
villain. But if you make a badass movie, if you make a great movie, then who cares what the logo looks like? Just make the movie awesome.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's figure out what awesome is. Let's talk about everything that we do know about it. So we do know, and these are based on the information that was released today. We do know that it is a standalone movie. It is titled Justice League, and will have a lighter tone. It has been confirmed that it is not a two-part movie anymore.
Oh,
it is
what?
now just a single standalone movie. Now, much like Batman vs Superman should have been two movies.
Oh, good
Justice
God, it
League
should've.
was two and is now one. So all we're getting is one, and it does focus on the ensemble coming together to take on a common threat. So that's better make the Flash logo proper from that dude, Daniel.
I like everyone's thoughts on what the V stands for. We got V for version and Batman via Superman.
Batman via Superman. That one I like.
Kilgorian
that.
Prime. That's pretty damn good there.
So, and we do know that the new Justice League movie is heavily influenced by Jack Kirby and revolves around the quest for 3 mother boxes, one on Earth, one in Atlantis, and the one in Themyscira. So, interesting. I mean, Infinity Gems, mother boxes, whatever you're looking for. I guess they can follow a certain path. We'll keep it there.
Like I said, make an awesome movie. But I'm kind of curious now they're trying to force a 2-movie thing into one, and we
Right.
know how awful that happened with Batman, with, Batman v Superman.
Zack Snyder has spoken. It is his
Batman-
greatest achievement in film.
You mean Batman Vegetable Superman?
Vegetable
Superman.
Superman. That's good. I like that
Come
one.
up, make sure you guys chat in what you think the V means. Don't get too graphic. And maybe we'll pick the best one who we think is.
Batman volatile Superman.
There we go. Perfect. Well, it does take place months after the events of Batman vs. Superman. And this, check this out. This was the funniest thing. I don't want to get funny, but an interesting one. So it's a big chunk of the movie's focus on Batman assembling the team, with Superman, coming in later, sporting longer hair. That's right.
He's going to have the mullet?
Oh God, it's the 90s.
It's the 90s.
Yes.
And it's actually said that this is going to be a different version of Batman. As they put it, a Batman with hope.
Well, damn it, it's about freaking time.
Batman with hope.
And maybe he
Sunshine
won't be killing
Batman.
everybody.
What is he, the damn Lantern Batman now? Like,
V for Vector. Here we go. I like it. All right, keep those V's coming in. And we do know that Steppenwolf is going to be the main bad guy, hence the mother boxes.
that dude
coming
Daniel
in.
had it.
That dude Daniel, that is right. He's going to be one of the main villains. With Darkseid's influence will be felt throughout the movie, and the parademons will appear, and Lex Luthor.
They're not a dream?
So I guess not. they're not a nightmare, as in Nightmare Batman. So
Spooky dreams.
we do know Batman will upgrade his suit, and we will see a new version of his armored suit towards the end of the movie.
So basically, we've established that Batman can see into the future then.
He can see into the future.
So what
All
we're doing
right.
is Zack Snyder has decided that he's just going to keep making the Dark Knight Returns armor in subsequent movies, but now they're going to be hopeful armors, and instead of
Hopeful.
killing people with kryptonite, it's going to be killing them with hope and kindness.
Well, I'm down for that. And Salty Steve, Batman voices Superman.
Hell
I
yeah!
like that one. I'm down for that one. That's for sure. And we do know that obviously Superman did a little number on the Batmobile, so we are going to get a new one. And take a look at this. There is our first little
Bamskis.
glimpse at the new Batmobile. I think it described as having more armor, more cannons, more guns, and
Damn it.
The
I was kind of hopeful for
Killmobile.
the new hopeful Batman that he doesn't kill anymore. So I guess with the new guns and cannons, well, that's just silly.
Kilgorian Prime says shooting them with flowers.
yeah, there we go.
Well,
So-
the new Batmobile with all the guns and everything, when they just watch Mad Max and like, well, that's our biggest grossing Warner Brothers movie, really, so let's do that.
Then maybe we will get a guitar player with flamethrower on it. I'm looking
there
forward
we
to
go.
that. So
Yes.
along with the Batmobile, we're also going to get the Flying Fox that Bruce Wayne builds, and that's
yeah.
supposedly for the team to use. So that's going to be the Blackbird. Is that, can we call it Blackbird? The Quinjet? I don't know what we call this one.
Did they ever have a name for the jet in the Justice League, Craig?
In the Justice League? No, not that I remember.
I just
anyways.
remember they flew around and they're like, wee!
Yeah, they never really.
Wonder Woman's
had a-
invisible bat jet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we got a couple people chiming in there that the vehicle kind of looks dull. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's looks like a multi-tool.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Well, Batman's new vehicle will be called Nightcrawler, which is designed by his father. So
Can we get the Judas Priest song
So,
playing for that then?
Then is the Batmobile going to
there's
be
going
called
to be Batmobile.
Nightcrawler?
No, there will be another vehicle apparently.
Okay.
So
We just can't call anything Bat anymore. Just like, come on, keep with tradition.
That is stupid.
and then Willem Dafoe, his character is confirmed, and he'll be playing Volko, a mentor to Aquaman.
Oh, now that could be awesome. Because
Yes.
that's the guy that originally found Aquaman later in his life.
Right.
And then, brought him on the land and introduced him back to his human side and stuff like that, if I'm remembering it right.
Yeah, I believe you are correct on that. And we're going to get
Aqua
Mira
Dothraki.
as well.
All right, well, I like William Dafoe, so I'm really excited that he's in here. So
Is Amber Heard off of Mira? I heard she's leaving possibly.
No, I know there were some costume issues where she apparently lost a lot of weight. So
okay.
in the costume there was going to be some issues with there because she is a warrior and a sorceress, and her costume is mostly chainmail. So there's probably going to be some
Nice.
custom things have to do off there. But J.K. Simmons will have the classic Commissioner Gordon look, so he's going to get a nice toupee and have to shave off that magnificent beard he's sporting right now.
Okay, can I take a minute here with that one?
Okay.
Like, so he's the best J. Jonah Jameson ever. I'm really
Right.
sad that he might not be in Homecoming. Probably not.
Probably not.
But the other thing I have, so we see the picture of him all jacked up Hulk style.
Right.
That dude is more ripped than Batman. With that fool in Gotham, do we need Batman? Commissioner Gordon's already just like, Hulkamania, brother.
well, we need someone to be a little bit darker since Batman's going to be all full of hope and sunshine now.
So now, like, Commissioner Gordon is Bullock. He's capping people's asses like, freeze, fool, bam.
That could be it. Well, the Flash's initial costume will be pieced together by spacesuits and held together by wire. However, Batman
What the
later
hell?
creates a much more streamlined suit for him to wear. So yeah, this is the information that was released, and these are details, and it does not get any better, does it? I'll bet you
No,
all
just like-
are now missing Batman voices Superman. Batman vertical Superman, I think would be another good one.
Oh,
Yes.
Commissioner Hulk.
Commissioner Hulk.
Jesus.
And we do
It's
know
just like-
Cyborg's costume will be 100% CGI.
Oh my God.
They didn't learn from Green Lantern, so we're going to get a...
Are you for real?
Just don't make it green.
That's right. Just don't make it green.
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
Oh, there we go.
Oh my God. Are we really doing this crap again?
Yes.
This is Jesus Christ.
Yep,
You act
Freddy's
like
going
you're
to have
shocked.
a meltdown.
I mean, I want to say so many bad words.
No,
Yep.
you see, once again, Deadpool taught them nothing.
What
Yep.
the hell? Why would they learn anything? They're Warner Brothers.
Yes.
There you go. Freddy's meltdown of the week. He just can't
That-
handle anymore. Well, while he melts down, let's take an actual look here at Steppenwolf. Now, I believe this image is actually from the R-rated cut of Batman vs. Superman, but it gives you an idea. There's the mother boxes, as well as our future bad guy in Justice League. Now, I'm curious to know, see, there's a person down there. What do you see?
That is Lex Luthor.
That is Lex Luthor. All right. So it goes and
He's
gets the mother
praying to him.
boxes.
No.
So that's pretty much all we have right now. So ready? Your thoughts on Justice League, Freddy?
This sounds like absolute horse crap. Like, we got completely CGI Cyborg. There's wires and mesh and every other garbage thrown onto the Flash. And, I mean, I'm down. Okay, look, we've had, everyone has had problems with Batman and Superman and Batman vs. Superman. So they're working on it. They're making it lighthearted and good. That's all well and good. But if you're not doing anything for the other characters, making them look like they came out of a trash can, good God.
Well, I like that. Warner Brothers stands for "We Do What We Want, Boy."
Yeah.
Yeah.
CGI Borg. That's damn right.
Yes, and mother boxes. You mean Allspark?
Yeah.
Nice.
Apparently, cubes are popular in movies
Mm-hmm.
these days.
They're a cosmic cube.
It does
Craig, what
sound
do you
like for
think?
every positive thing that they do, we just got the synopsis of it, which sounds like a great idea for a
does.
movie. And then they just turn around and they say something stupid like, what's CGI Cyborg? Because there's no way we can make a suit like that.
Well, okay, then,
then-
first of all, Batman vs. Superman should have been 2 movies. I've said that since day one. That should have
Yeah.
been 2
Yes.
movies. They have it here in Justice League.
I know,
There's really
that's-
no movie. There's like 1 or 2 movies in between, but nothing really to bridge the gap. And now it's 1 movie. You're going to fill all that in there again?
Well, hold on. Let's look back, and I know we keep comparing Marvel to DC, but we can't help it. It's just what exists. Marvel took how many movies did we get? We got Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Captain America, Thor, Hulk before we got the Avengers.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we had all of those movies in preparation to assemble the Avengers. Here, they're going to do it all in one movie. Introduce characters, assemble the team. I mean, we now
See,
obviously...
this is again, and it doesn't sound like they learned any lessons from Batman versus Superman, where Batman and Superman would have probably been helped if you split that into two movies.
Oh yeah.
absolutely.
And again, they're like, well, we
It
didn't
felt
learn anything.
like two movies.
Let's just cram it all
Well,
together.
like they tried so hard to rely on parts of Man of Steel, but I'm gonna be honest, man, no one really cared or remembered that movie.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
when
that
was-
and like you saw the scene with Steppenwolf, which would have probably made sense when you saw Lex Luthor go crazy and started acting like the Joker. But we didn't get that scene in the theatrical view, so we're just like, why
Well,
is he
that's the
not
other-
behaving like
you,
Lex
you
Luthor
can't make an
anymore?
excuse like, oh, well, this movie in the unrated version or whatever has this stuff in it, so it makes more sense. No, what you presented to the public in the theater, that's what's supposed to make sense. That's like,
Yeah.
I love the Hobbit extended editions. The Hobbit movies are crap.
There, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
And Captain Need Us Some Pizza says, wait till you see Plastic Man played by a CGI shopping cart.
Jesus.
That's going to be fantastic. And that dude, Daniel, the theater release, 2 hours, 15 minutes. The R-rated cut, 4 hours, 30 minutes.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Jesus.
And then they're going to say like, well, you can't review it until you get the R-rated
Lord-
4 hours.
I like Lord Garrison, though. DC will make movies great again.
Yes. Well, look, Salty Steve says he does, Freddie. He does care. He cared immensely about Man of Steel.
I'm sorry. It's just,
All right. Well, okay, let's... Now,
I love you, Salty Steve.
We know there's a big division, and we've talked about this on the past couple of episodes. You can go back on YouTube and watch those, where we talked about the new structure and divisions with the comic book side and the DC. What do we call it? DC movies. I think is
Yeah.
what they're changing it now to. So let's.
As opposed to...
Instead of the DC Cinematic Universe.
That's right. It's now DC.
DC
movies.
I
So-
like DC movies.
So over on the comic side, they're taking another little step there, and they've actually unveiled more of the redesigned costumes for the ever-changing DC universe. And we're going to take a look at some of these characters, and let's pull these up here. Now, these are the ones that we obviously New 52 has gone away, and now we're looking at Rebirth. So all these new characters coming out, and there's our first look as
Simon Baz.
That's right.
Green Lantern.
Green Lantern. There's the first look at the redesign.
With
of
his
that.
gun, it's back. He's ready to kill
Yes.
some people.
That's the only part about Simon that I never got. You have access to the most powerful weapon in the entire universe. Well, I need my gun.
Homeboy needs his gun, dude.
Yeah, well, you know.
This is
That
America, damn it.
Green,
But I
Green
do like
Lucha.
that.
Hell yeah.
Green Lucha. He's gonna come out with some. I wonder if he's wearing stretchy.
I wish
pants.
he was a character in
Do
Mucha
you think he's
Lucha.
wearing stretchy pants?
Stretchy pants. I wish.
All right.
But I do like the costume design. I the
All
Green
right.
Lantern stuff are always been pretty cool, and I like this a lot better than what he looked like in 52. That was just
All right. Well, let's move on to Red Hood.
good.
He looks really
There we
sad.
go. He does
At
look
least
kinda
the
sad.
Super
stupid
sad.
lips are gone.
Well, and really, I mean, the new 52 version was a little more out there, but really, what more can you do with Red Hood?
No.
I mean, it just looks like the older
Put him in
costume,
body
man.
armor, yeah. Put him in a jacket, and
Still got a sweet coat, man.
yes, and guns. We got some more guns.
Always.
All right, so that was pretty
Jason Todd's
uneventful.
awesome, though.
Yes, he is. And now let's look at a Huntress. There
At
we
least
go.
he starts to look like the Huntress.
Yeah, she
Yes.
just looks like
I
she
mean-
did before the new 52.
Which begins we're forgetting all about the 52. Thank God.
Well, if you see on the bottom left there, you'll actually see the new 52 version that they had out, which was horrible.
Yeah.
So this
Hideous.
one is a much more
Hawkeye.
improved Hawkeye. That's right. Oh, look at that. I like this one.
She does look like female Hawkeye, though.
And just for you cosplayers
Mm-hmm.
out there, I mean, I know we're going to start to see these. So there's your little start on how to get rolling on the Rebirth DC heroes.
Rebirth.
Rebirth. So let's take a look. Next we have our little friend, Slade Wilson. Deathstroke. Really
Well,
not
he's got
much
the
difference.
Aquaman arm, though.
Yeah, I think only the arm is really different. I mean, better than the spikes he was wearing on
Yes.
the new 52.
Hey, man, that was great, dude. Wasn't that Rob Liefeld, the greatest artist of all time?
Now that he did Deadpool. He did
Oh,
Deadpool.
that's right.
So Well, Captain Nita
I like-
Pizza does not like the Huntress design.
I'm glad they went back to his original sword design. I know it's kind of crazy with the hilt, the way it goes on there, but that was.
He's got to summon his Zord, man.
Exactly. Okay, and last but not least,
Thank
our Black
I
Canary.
like the Black Canary with her
Black
like little
Canary.
punk band though.
Yeah.
finally went back to what she looked like with the fishnet stockings and the leather coat.
But she had that in the
Not in the
No,
52.
no, not in the new 52. It was
Nope.
considerably different. Yeah.
Oh, the
and then she had a
52 is-
cape, correct?
Yeah, she had a cape. She also had pants. They were hideous, and she was just basically uniform gray. It was just ugly.
What book were y'all reading?
That was what she looked like in the 52 before they turned her into the punk
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, that's the only one I cared about was the punk stuff.
But see,
because it looked like the
It was
older
back-
stuff.
Yeah, because they finally realized their costume before sucked, and they finally was like, well, what do people like? Oh wait, her original look.
Dude, yeah,
And
she's
they
over here
didn't-
all London calling. It's awesome.
Yes.
All right. Well, there you go. Those are the new costumes that we have for DC. So we'll take. I'm sure we'll see those coming out more as more issues from Rebirth come out.
Issues.
Which, if you're not picking those up off the shelf, you need to.
They
From what-
sell
they're
out day one
they
every
sell out.
time.
quick. So unless you're into a third print, you better get to your comic book store and get them. So along with the synopsis we got for Justice League, we actually got a synopsis that we're all interested in. Yes.
Shots
Good.
fired.
That's right. So Guardians of the Galaxy
Oh yeah.
Volume 2
Doses.
Yes.
has also released their synopsis for this movie, and it's pretty interesting.
What we got? What we got? What we got? What we got?
All right, you ready? Set to the backdrop of awesome mixtape number 2, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 continues the team's adventures as they traverse the outer reaches of the cosmos. The Guardians must fight to keep their newfound family together as they unravel the mysteries of Peter Quill's true parentage. Old foes become new allies, and fan-favorite characters from the classic comics will come to our heroes' aid as the Marvel cinematic universe continues to expand. All right, guys, so the big thing in there, fan-favorite characters from the classic comics. What do you think? Craig, start us out. Who do you think they're talking about here?
Fan favorite.
Now I'll give you an easy one. We already know Mantis was
Mantis.
was announced.
Mantis was there?
So Mantis could be
How about
one.
Starhawk? That would be
Oh
awesome.
God, Starhawk.
Starhawk or Moondragon. She would have been cool.
Yeah.
The who else could we could get in there? Was it Charlie X?
Yeah,
Was-
Charlie X.
Charlie X would be that would be really really cool. Bringing some like the really
The old school ones.
characters,
Well-
or who was the guy that lived on Mercury? What was his name?
Oh, the one that with the
with like that looked like Iceman, only like prisms
Yeah.
all around him. That would have been awesome.
Salty Steve says Howard the Duck.
my man right there. Let's do it. Netflix series. That's what I'm saying.
All right, so who do you think our favorite classic comic book character coming to the big screen could be?
I know it's not who I want it to be, and it's not. I mean, I guess it's not classic.
Well, who would
but
you want it to be?
Okay, for this iteration of the Guardians of the Galaxy, if you're going with fan favorite character from that, wouldn't technically be on the team, but helped them out quite a lot, was Richard Rider's Nova. However, James Gunn hates Richard Rider's Nova, so it can be that. I'm gonna go with the dude from Mercury, as Craig said. He'd be pretty awesome.
How about,
Any of the original Guardians,
well,
because
think about this.
Could
let's
he
go.
do the kid Nova? That does he just hate Nova? Period.
I don't know
or
if he
does
hates Nova, period, but like Sam Alexander's become really popular. I want Richard Rider though. He was my favorite Nova. He was
Okay,
pretty bad.
Think about this. Who, as far as these characters that you guys are naming,
Mm-hmm.
would fit within a storyline that includes the Grandmaster? Because we do know Jeff Goldblum is playing the Grandmaster, and he will be.
Pip the Troll.
Pip the Troll would
Pip
be
the
pretty
Troll.
cool.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Warlock would be pretty.
Adam Warlock's a kind of obvious one, yeah.
Which I know Adam Warlock. There was that whole rumor of that his cocoon in the
And the collector
yeah,
stuff.
the collector
Yeah.
setup in the first one. So
Lord Garrison, they technically could do Agent Venom now, I think, because they have Spider-Man back.
yeah, and Agent Venom is in Guardians of the
Right
Galaxy
now, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I want to ask this of you guys right now, though. It said at the beginning, like, to a new mixtape, part 2. What songs would you want? I'm going to go with They Gotta Have Surrender by Cheap Trick for when he meets his parents.
Now, do you think we're gonna get? Because look at the time frame of that Volume 1.
Yeah.
So are they going to stick with that same era?
It's gotta
or are we
be
gonna
70s
get a
and
little
80s,
bit
man.
more 70s, 80s? Well, was there any 80s in there in the
There
first
was-
one?
Yeah, there's a couple of 80s, man.
Was there? Okay.
Yeah. I also would like, I don't know if it's the right time period, but I think it'd be funny as hell if Star-Lord was kicking people's ass to Dexy's Midnight Runners Come on Eileen.
That would be great. I think that would be a good one. Darkstormer666 says he wishes he never put that cocoon in it based on what, I guess, I'm assuming James Gunn is
everybody,
what he's
yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
Where, the speculation of that happens. So it could be Warlock. We know that's been rumored 100 times over. So it'd be interesting to see.
Well, it could
I
be
still
some,
think
there could be,
Moondragon would be an awesome
there
idea
could be
for
some
this.
space characters from Spider-Man's side because there's a picture of someone rapping on one day where Tom Holland was on the set of Guardians. But then again, that was also because it was like 2 days before Spider-Man started shooting.
That was
Right.
actually on last Wednesday.
Yeah.
So when we're going to talk about that, because the photography they're both filming in Atlanta as Guardians was wrapping up, Spider-Man was beginning. So
Hell
they did
yeah.
do.
That's a cool idea, that dude Daniel. You could have Simon Williams, Wonder Man.
No, he's supposed to be in it. As
Is it?
Nathan Fillion is playing Simon Williams. We don't know if it's Wonder Man though.
Interesting.
Nice. Okay, that's interesting.
All right,
Love
guys.
Frosting missed somebody. I hope it's us. We missed you too.
Aw.
There you go. We missed you so much, and we're glad you're back. So joining in the conversation, we just wrapped up a little bit of Guardians of the Galaxy. It's speculating as far as what fan favorite classic comic book characters they claim are going to be on the big screen. So we hope to see something interesting. We know they just did wrap principal photography last week, so we're
Oh, Kilgorian Prime, Dare to be Stupid.
would be
Yes.
awesome.
would be good, but you know that is a
Transformers,
Transformers
damn it!
property,
Oh.
and that's not going
Dare
to
to
happen.
be stupid. Let's get the
Yes.
whole cast of Monty Python in there too.
Perfect. All right. Now you're getting in Batman
I'm
versus
hoping,
Superman
man.
territory. Now you're getting just crazy out there. So it was announced on Friday as well, like we just talked about, that Spider-Man has begun principal photography. Now there's not a lot of stuff out there yet. Obviously, the principal photography, they usually do a lot of the scenes where there's not going to be heavy CGI or action. So it is started. And Just Jared, the site, which always seems to be able to get the absolute
The scoops.
exclusive scoops of everything, has actually released an image. Now, before we show it, in the comic books, Peter Parker went to Midtown High. We all know that.
Right.
And in the Amazing Spider-Man franchise, they actually changed the high school he went to Midtown Science High. So something interesting happened in this first image that we're going to see. Marvel Studios and Sony are kind of following the similar route for Spider-Man Homecoming. And we're going to take a look at this picture where we see Tom Holland sporting a shirt which reveals that he now goes to Midtown School of Science and Technology. Take a look there. There's our first little shot
Nice.
from there. So pretty interesting that they actually kept the kind of something similar from the Amazing Spider-Man. I guess maybe that was a little nod to thanks for screwing it up so bad that Sony moved it over to Marvel. Like that could be a little nod to that. So
I hate you, Mark Webb.
So there's that little nugget of Spider-Man there. Obviously, we'll get more as it comes along. Principal photography just started, so I'm willing to bet in about 3 weeks we're going to have some great stuff.
Real quick, if you want to see the director's skills in directing, his first film, Clown, produced by Eli Roth, which is what got him in the industry, is finally, after 2 to 3 years, available on iTunes and on demand and in some theaters. Also, if you want to see the guy's action skills in directing, go check out Kevin Bacon and Cop Car. Awesome movies right there to
Well,
get
there
you
you go.
excited for Spider-Man Homecoming.
All right.
It's
Nice.
Freddy's recommendations. Make sure you guys go check that out. Now, keeping with Spider-Man here, obviously last week with all the EA announcements came out, we talked a little bit about the Spider-Man video game, and we talked about that and some of the things coming out. We speculated as far as if this was going to be, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Are they going to try and tie in video games? I think we had a whole discussion as far as if that's going to happen. Well, we have now learned that it is not, because Marvel has confirmed future video games will not exist in the MCU. So some of the problem with Marvel games has come from being tied into the release of movies. Thankfully, that's not something Marvel games is worried about anymore, and they're giving game creators much more freedom by not linking new forthcoming Marvel games to any of the future film titles. So here's actually a quote that was released by Marvel. When we tell people they aren't just building a movie game, that opens up their eyes. You mean we have freedom to invest and deliver the title we want to deliver? They don't have to meet some artificial date. We give them time. We initiate projects far earlier than we used to. So unfortunately, that does mean there will not be any video games where you can play as Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, Mark Ruffalo, Scarlett Johansson,
Johansson.
Jeremy Renner, Paul Rudd, or any of the Avengers in their own video games. But that does mean we might finally be getting some better quality video games from Marvel and from all these tie-ins. So, what do you think, guys? Is that good or bad news?
I think it'd be cool. I mean, my favorite video game that came out for Marvel was Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah.
I would love to see another game like that.
And that was one that did not tie
It didn't
in.
tie into anything. It
Right.
had its own story, and it took from all the character base. So
Salty Steve, that's a possibility that you might actually get characters that you actually like. They won't be tying them into to movie characters that are coming out, which
Giant
is what a lot of
Sentinel.
games do. Craig, what do you think?
I think this is fantastic news. I mean, one of the best movie games that ever came out was the X-Men Origins Wolverine video game. And why? Was because the movie got delayed, and so they had an entire another year to work on it and became probably the best movie game ever. If you give these guys time, they'll make awesome products. So if you don't, they've been saying, well, you have to release the video game when the movie comes out.
Well, now they're not going to
and
be
now that
movie
they won't
related,
have
yeah.
to do it, that will make the games even better. And
Now, my favorite was the last good movie game was Spider-Man back in 2004.
oh yeah,
I
And
love
that
that
one had the world where you could just swing around.
around.
You could answer calls or not answer calls.
Yeah, I
And
loved that game because
freeform
that's about
world.
what I did was just swing around pretending I was Spider-Man.
And that's pretty much it. So that was really the last one. And so we're looking at easily 12 years of just garbage that's come out from. I mean, there's no other way to put it. If you've played some of them, they are pretty bad.
Yeah.
And so hopefully this will give them the ability to put out good quality stuff. And unfortunately, the new Spider-Man is only going to be available on PS4. So that's not going to be that good. Unless we got here, a couple people commented Spider-Man 2 for PS2 was awesome. That is true. That was actually a pretty good one there, Salty Steve. And
The Spider-Man games are usually pretty solid just because they got that web swinging.
that's all you
really
gotta do, man.
really solid work, and that just was half the fun.
And look, Love Frosting is a good point. That so many superhero movies, and none of them are gay. So many movies coming out, but no heroes coming out of the closet. I'm sorry, but I'm a gay superhero nerd and still waiting.
You know what sucks
Yeah.
is X-Men has a lot of those characters.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I don't know if
they had the first one with Alpha Flight.
the North Star.
The
yeah.
North Star back then, which subsequently killed off North Star. So that's about all there's been, and
and
you're
then
absolutely
you had
right.
One, the new
Iceman.
Iceman,
I
yeah.
know Iceman is come out as gay, and he's still not dead yet.
And that's about it. So that's a very good point. I'm kind of curious to see which direction they head and which comic book company will be willing to actually start writing that. I mean, it's a different age than it was
Really
back
wish
in
they
the
would.
I have a feeling it's gonna be Harley.
could be.
They
I
could
think
bring
that's
in
gonna be the one.
Batwoman. That would be cool. She's a gay character that's pretty awesome, and
All right,
I think that would
interesting.
be a good person to start with if you want a gay front character. First of all, she looks like Batman, and Warner Brothers loves their Batman.
All right, and
and-
Lord Garrison is also asking what is our game we were most excited about from E3, and if you watched last week's show, you'll know mine is X-Wing VR. Still been waiting 39 years.
The fractured butt hole
The fractured butthole.
is my most anticipated.
I got a couple of them. I want the new Spider-Man game because I love pretending that I'm a superhero, and so I want to fly around just like Spider-Man. And
All
there's also a few others, but Spider-Man will be the best one.
All right, well, there you go. Now, we're going to stick with the Marvel theme here, and this one's kind of a little comical piece of information I found out there. So, for those who do know me, I am a big pop collector. I do
Good God, you are.
I have an excessive collection of pops. Feel free to send me some. I love the exclusive stuff. So, recently, the Daredevil himself, Charlie Cox, reached out to Funko, the maker of pops, and asked for a few Daredevil pops to take to Children's Hospital he planned to visit. Marvel posted this picture on their Twitter feed yesterday to show how Funko responded. Take a look at that. I think they sent him a few.
Yeah.
That's awesome. He's like Game of Thrones with Funko.
Yes. Oh, that's pretty good.
Nice.
Now, I mean, the irony is that they have that many of them around. Nobody really wants those.
I don't want a
they're-
blind guy pop.
They're not the most popular ones out there, but I thought that was pretty hilarious. And good for Funko.
Yes.
Let them get out there and.
Make some good names for themselves.
So there's going to be how many of those are going to be signed and given to kids? I am jealous. I'm a pop collector. Did I
Jesus,
mention that?
Joe.
Feel free to send them in. Okay, and so speaking of pops, I'm going to keep with this theme. We've got a new line from the vinyl collectible that has been recently announced, and they're actually going to be making a series of pops based on the legendary comic of The Dark Knight by Frank Miller. So let's actually take a peek at those right there. Now look at these. Come on, tell me you don't love them.
I do love them.
Those are magnificent. We've
I
got
love the fact that with what is it, Bruce Wayne without his iron helmet out there, he's still looking angry.
He's looking like he's taking a deuce right there.
there you go. Check it
And
out.
to me, the Joker from that series is still one of the scariest Jokers ever, and they captured that truly terrifying Joker in pop form is
Yeah, and I
pretty
think that
amazing.
was one of the coolest one. And I think there's also going to be a Robin eventually. They're
Carrie
going
Kelly?
to put on there. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I thought I'd put that a little bit in there. These pops are great. They're addicting. It's like the new Beanie Babies. I can't
Yeah.
stop. Okay, so there you go. Interesting. What do you think, Pops? Come on, Freddie, get on board.
I hate Pops.
Ah, look at him.
Unless
Freddie
it's the
hates
cereal. I love
everything.
the cereal.
All right.
I'm a fat ass. I like food.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's check in on the costume contest and see how we're doing there. Just a reminder, there's a look at your 5 finalists. I think we've got Celine, number 1. 2, Vegeta and Goku. 3, Professional, Vader and Boba Fett. And the missing link, number 4, with Yoko Littner rounding out the top 5 there. And remember to vote, all you got to do is type in ! The word vote, hit the spacebar one time, and the corresponding number for the cosplayer that you are voting for. All right. There we go. We'll get you one last peek at those before we continue on here.
Salty Steve, are you talking about a pop of me or Freddy Krueger? That's what he said. Would you hate a Freddy pop?
That probably means you.
Probably
Oh.
means you. And no, he would love that because that
No.
means everybody loves him.
No, that'd be really weird. Those dead eyes, kind of like dog's eyes, like Jaws, man. It's freaky.
All right.
Oh, listen to him. He would love it.
Dude, Migos though, I do love me some Migos.
Yes.
Twisted Toy Fair Theater is one of the greatest comic strips ever.
Hashtag Freddy Pop.
Damn it!
All right. There you go.
You would sleep with it, wouldn't you, Salty Steve?
Now, in more disappointing DC news that we just can't stop, can we?
Damn, dude.
I know. Earlier this week, we learned that Teen Wolf alum Tyler Hoechlin, not Tom Welling, will be playing Superman in the CW's take on Supergirl. I know. Let's take a look at him. There's a shot right there. That is our new TV version of Superman.
Teen Wolf?
Teen Wolf. When asked if he will try to match Henry Cavill's take on the iconic character, he was quoted as saying, "I never try to compare and contrast performances," he said, "because it's such an iconic character already." Now, did you know Hoechlin playing Superman marks the first time 2 versions of the Man of Steel have existed at the same time in live action since Smallville was on the air at the same time as Superman Returns was released? A little Brandon Routh, Tom Welling combo there.
Damn.
So the actor went on to say, "Superman is Superman, so I'm just going to try to carry on the tradition of that and play that part." So interestingly enough, he went on to basically confirm that both Superman and Clark Kent will be seen in Supergirl this fall. He was quoted again as saying, "I think the fun is going to be finding where Clark Kent is in this world. I'm just excited to find out Clark's sense of humor." So the big question is, does this mean he's going to be featured more on there? Because we've only been told that he's going to be on for two.
Yeah, it was two episodes.
2 episodes. And so, is this just a little quick appearance he's going to make, or are we going to kind of see his new Superman face a little more on there? And basically, does this give you any hope, any care? Does this matter? Craig, tell us something.
Does it matter, Craig?
Come on,
Tell us the damn answer.
I
Super
don't
Craig,
think it
come on.
matters because I don't think it really matters because he's just going to be there for 2 episodes and maybe pop up 1 episode or 2 episodes later.
You're saying
So-
Superman doesn't
Yeah,
matter?
but this is Supergirl show. I don't want Superman to take over, the Supergirl show.
Then he gets his own show, and we get
then
all
he
the
can-
shows.
Yes. So no, I say great for this guy to take a chance at being Superman. It doesn't matter one way or the other because we'll always think of Superman as whoever's playing him in the movies.
You're too positive, Craig.
It just doesn't matter to me in this case because it's just 2 episodes. I mean, when you're getting a 12 to 15 season, it's the Supergirl TV show. It's not Superman's.
Well, Love Frosting agrees with you because he's glad the show's called Supergirl, not Supergirl and Superman. He should just be there
Yep.
for her to have family, not to save Supergirl. Supergirl should save him. Remember, she's the main character.
Oh, I love
is
that,
true.
Ron Frosting. That's awesome. I hope that happens.
Now, the question is, there's some interesting news here. Now, for all of you Flash fans out there, Flash TV series, have you had a chance to finish the series?
No, dude, I'm waiting for season 2 to hit Netflix.
Ah,
I'm
well,
that guy.
We're gonna spoil this for Freddie.
Son of a bitch.
We're going to spoil this for Freddie. Now, for those of you that are caught up, and you will see at the end of season 2 of The Flash, it wasn't confirmed, but there is a setup which seems to suggest that we are heading to a fantastic storyline from The Flash. What's one of the best storylines that has happened with Flash?
We're doing Flashpoint, aren't we? Is that what we're doing?
We're doing
What's
Flashpoint.
going on? Thanks for running the whole damn thing for me.
We do know it is going to coincide with Arrow, Supergirl, and Legends of Tomorrow crossover. So I'm curious to see how the Superman appearance
Does
is
that
going to
mean we
make
can
a
get
difference.
Constantine back? Because that'd be awesome.
It's possible.
That-
And we do know CW has been attempting to bring that series back.
You know what? We'll go hardcore back, get back Birds of Prey, too. I know you're a fan of that.
I am
Don't
a fan
even
of that.
front. I
I'm
know
not
you're a
gonna
fan of that
run you.
show.
I love that show. And it would be like a dream come true. King
Bring
come
back
true if
everybody,
that would
man.
do it. And
If
I would
you've been
love
on
just
a
to CW be the
Warner
superhero
Brothers show, yeah.
where superheroes done right, unlike the movies.
Damn, calling it hard.
I know. Look at that. Super Craig. He's going hard on
It's
that
effing
one.
Craig.
So, I'm curious to see how that's going to play out because we know he's going to be in the first 2, and we know that Flashpoint storyline is going to cross over. Well, which Superman? Is that going to be the real Superman, or is it going to be part of the Flashpoint?
Ooh.
Interesting. We'll just
That's a
leave it
good
at that.
question. That's
we'll just
nice.
leave it at that and let that come in when CW returns
Mm-hmm.
this fall. And I'm curious to see all of that. Maybe by then, Freddie will have actually caught up and know what we're talking about.
Yes.
Hashtag shame Freddie. All right. Well, let's switch back to something that you do know.
Do I?
Yes, and that's comic books.
Oh, I know the comics.
So, again, if you watch the show regularly, a few months ago, we actually got a little teaser from Marvel.
That was a
This
while
one right
ago,
here was
yeah.
a while ago
Yeah.
with Dead No More. We speculated, we hinted, obviously there's some Spiderweb, so we do know that it is going to be Spider-Man related. Well, we now know that Dead No More is actually the next big event for Spider-Man. And ever since the title was relaunched, Amazing Spider-Man has been dropping some pretty major hints about the next big event for the wall crawler. Mysterious Man in a red mask has been bringing characters from Peter Parker's past back from the dead, but it turns out that Dead No More is actually going to be titled The Clone Conspiracy, an apparent follow-up to the Clone Saga.
Most of them are dead, though.
Well, but the Mysterious Man in the red mask has been bringing them back.
Clone
Take a
number
look here.
one.
Here's a couple of images that Entertainment Weekly has posted. There is the Clone Conspiracy, and there is our little teaser images we get.
It's really pretty
Interesting.
Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
Bring him back.
Exactly. Just a little comment we got that dude, Daniel. What's he saying? The Flashpoint is the main storyline for this season. By the end of the season, a new timeline established that brings in Supergirl into the same Earth.
That would be
Brings
awesome.
back some old characters and sets the timeline closer to the comics. That would be a neat way to tie all of the CW shows together. That's pretty good. I like that one. So back to Spider-Man. We do know that in Dead No More, which is now the Clone Conspiracy, the Jackal will be the big baddie of this tale. But it sounds like
he was the
has-
last big baddie,
Yes,
too.
he was too. And it sounds like he has more than just cloning on his mind these days. In fact, it looks like he'll be stepping up a real big bad for Spidey. And the quotes from Dan Slott with Marvel says, the Jackal has always seemed to be obsessed with cloning Spider-Man and Gwen. He's had a very narrow focus. That's led to very interesting stories in the past, but you have to stop and think, if you're the Jackal and you take science to the next level, what's more important to you than just cloning Gwen's and Peter's? What does this character want, and what's he going to do with this awesome science? So, what do you think, guys?
Well, okay, so the last time a Jackal came in, we got Spider Island.
Yes.
And that was possibly one of the coolest damn big events in Marvel. New York City shut down.
Yep.
Everyone's turning into giant monster spiders. There's drama. There's me crying over pages like a weeping man baby. It was amazing. So I'm kind of looking forward to this. I'm one of the few people who doesn't completely hate the Clone Saga because got Ben Reilly out of it.
Yeah.
Ben Reilly's pretty badass. You know Ben Reilly's badass.
I liked Ben Riley, but then
And
there
Kane
was
was
oh,
a
no.
Kane.
as a man from Texas, we got our first superhero from Houston, sir.
Yeah, but I hated Kane.
He was a badass, dude. Come on.
Come on, elaborate, Craig.
Yeah,
Come
why
on,
do you hate
Super
Kane?
Craig.
Come on,
Tell
Super
us why
Craig.
you hate Kane.
Kane was he was awful. I mean, it was like everything was like, I'm just the biggest, baddest villain, and I got every superpower in the book.
Yeah. So he's
But
Wolverine. So
suddenly-
you're saying you don't like Wolverine because of
He
that?
is not Wolverine, because Wolverine actually has a
Hashtag
limit
Craig
to
hates
his...
Wolverine.
Craig hates Wolverine.
Actually has a limit to his powers, unlike Kane, who could, like, turn
Wait,
people to
did you
ash.
just say Wolverine has a limit to his
Yes.
powers?
Well, you
The
can't-
dude blew up,
Yes, but that's still
singed to death,
part...
and still came back.
But
the dude has a limit
does
to his
he all of a
powers.
sudden shoot beams from his eyes? Does he all of a sudden turn people to ash? Does
We
he all
don't
of a
know
sudden...
yet.
Yeah, we don't know yet. It's
Kane
still being
did
written.
There's
all
an
of that.
option.
He was so overpowered, and it was just one of the worst things that came out of the 90s.
Oh my
It was,
god!
it was the
Craig.
same thing with the Clone Saga that went on for freaking ever without any end in
And we
sight.
got Ben and Kane, so I'm good.
I mean-
There
Raising
you go.
Bens.
Craig hates comic books.
Hashtag Craig hates comics. Craig hates
the
Wolverine.
90s comic books. It's like-
Well, perfect. Well, according to Entertainment Weekly, The Clone Conspiracy will be a 5-issue miniseries written by Dan Slott
Dan
with
Slott's
art
badass.
by Jim Chung. Issue number 1 hit stands in October, and the main series will be building up to the event over the next few months. Inevitably, we know there's going to be a long list of tie-ins to go with it. So I'm looking forward to it. I want to see Cosmic Spidey come back. I
Oh,
love
he was
Cosmic
pretty badass.
Spidey.
Well, he got
That
his
was
ass
good.
kicked in Spider Verse.
Yes,
Oh, he got
that's
torn
right.
up, dude.
Hashtag Angry Craig. There we go. We got Craig all riled
all
up.
right, guys.
That
you
was
know, have
Craig's
your Clone
rant of
Saga
the
again,
week.
where it takes 6 years again.
Ben
for
Riley
it to ever
and
go.
Kane are gonna just
Well, is
get
Ben
together.
Riley the actual Peter Parker, or is Peter Parker the actual Peter Parker?
It
We don't
doesn't
know.
matter.
I know, isn't
it
that
went
great?
on forever,
And we're
it's
gonna
and
find
then
out.
Peter Parker, the real Peter Parker, decides, "What the hell? I'm just going to quit and let the fake Peter Parker, Ben Riley, take over."
Dude, I'm just so surprised you're angry about that with how big of an X-Men fan you are and how convoluted those timelines get in that. Oh, yeah.
no.
Uh-oh, hashtag
No
super angry.
way.
Yeah, super angry,
That's
Craig.
right. Pretty much we're gonna
You
get
got-
Cosmic.
We brought-
actually
Spidey.
Oh,
Is
look,
anybody
there's young
outside
teenage
there?
X-Men hanging out with the new X-Men. What are we
Oh,
doing?
so you're talking about the new X-Men stuff?
the
that are
retcon
coming.
and then retcon constantly.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. Like, it's
And
comics.
The Clone Saga ruined all of that.
So
And in
did
fact,
half the
that's-
X-Men titles coming up from the 90s on up. Come on,
the
dude.
90s were terrible. I'm saying that. The 90s comics were awful. It
But
was
you
like-
still read them?
I know, and I cried most of the time.
But you still paid for it?
No, actually, I stopped reading a bunch of the stuff about midway through the 90s because then we had No Nose Wolverine with his bone claws and with his little bandana suit, and I said, I'm done. And I stopped reading
so
them until...
basically, there were a list of comics that Angry Craig did not think like. Well, Salty Steve puts it. Angry Craig's list.
Yes.
Angry Craig's list is put together, and that is a list of comics that make Craig angry from the 90s.
But he still bought them all.
No,
he
I didn't
still
buy
bought
the
'em
Clone
all.
Saga.
And
You
yes, Love,
stole them?
and Love Frosting, we actually
Not
have talked
really
about Arrow.
about-
Not today, but we have talked about it in past episodes, which you can catch on YouTube. Now, we will talk more about the CW shows as we get closer to the fall and we get a little more heads up as far as what Flashpoint's going to be when Freddy finally catches up. So, yes. So, Craig, now that we know you're angry and he hates all 90s comic books.
Oh, come on. You guys gotta hate it. Like, even Cable, as much as we all love Cable, he looked ridiculous with his gun and his shoulder mounted guns and his...
I know
and
you
it's like-
love you some of that, man. You got
God,
that's
it's
your
like-
profile picture,
That's...
That is your
I
profile
know, because
picture.
it looks ridiculous.
but it's still awesome enough to be your profile pic.
All right, you got me there.
All right, perfect. Well, speaking of comic books and all the ones that Craig hates, tomorrow, just like every week, is Wednesday, and that means what, guys?
New
comic book day!
That's right, and these are the 3 picks that we think you guys should grab off of the shelves while you're out there getting your pull list or getting your regular titles off of the shelves. So, as always, Freddie, you're a guy that doesn't hate comic books like Craig over here. So we'll let
I
you
work
get
in a comic book
We'll
store.
let you get started. Go for it, Freddie.
I went super Mexican this week. I picked La Muerta, Descent #1. It's written by Brian Pulido, art by Joel Gomez, and the covers by Mike Crome. Basically, right here and now, guys, I'm going to say what really got me in this comic was in previews, it said, think if Robert Rodriguez, who directed Desperado and El Mariachi, directed The Crow. That's what this is. You get Maria Diaz, who's a former U.S. soldier, comes home. Her little brother's kind of got some problems with cartels. Whole place gets engulfed in flame, gunned down by the cartels, and Maria comes back as La Muerta, the vengeance spirit, to take everyone out who has done her and her family wrong. It is badass and super Mexican.
All right. Well, there you go. There's Freddie's Super Mexican Comic Book of the Week. Pick of the Week. All right. Craig, is there a comic book out there you do like?
Yes, I like Action Man #1, writer
Action
by
Man.
John Barber, art Paolo Villan. I'm going to butcher this name, so I'm sorry. Villanelli, and cover by Chris Evenhouse. Action Man is dead. Long live Action Man. So the world's greatest super agent is dead, and he handpicks his successor right before he dies. And so now, all the world's eyes are on the new protege. Can the protege step up and to be the world's greatest spy, or will he just fail?
Action Man.
Action Man.
Guys, if you're old like me, you remember Action Man was the action figure to have back in the day. Action Man could be anything. He could be a super secret spy. He could be a superhero. I'm really happy to see that he's a comic book. Ready to see how they're going to handle this.
right.
So check it out.
Finally, Craig's past comes up and makes him a little happy in
Yes.
comic book form.
Most of the time he's just hate-filled.
I know, that's fantastic. Well, my pick is Lucas Stand #1, written by Kurt Sutter, art by Jesus Hervas, and Steve Berman is the one doing the cover. Now, this is about Lucas Stand, who's a military vet who can't reintegrate into society, has emotionally cut himself off from the people he loves. At his lowest point, he does something he can't take back, and hell comes calling, offering him the opportunity to make things right. Demons escaping hell are upsetting the balance of evil, and now Lucifer has recruited Lucas to send them back, Constantine. Doesn't matter in what era the demons escape, World War II, old-timey Hollywood, Vietnam, present day, he must learn to fit in both the past and the present. Given new purpose, Lucas starts to rebuild himself and his life, even as he struggles at the human cost that comes with it. Now, what I liked about this one is obviously we've kind of seen this plot basically before. With sell himself to the devil, you gotta come back and redeem yourself. But I like the time travel aspect of it. I like the fact that we're gonna get to see different eras of these demons and where he has to encounter. So that one's definitely my pick. And I know Freddie has read it, but as Freddie has said, let's wait to see how it plays out. It says the first one does get a little bit off to a slow start, so don't let that hinder you. I think the plot and everything else is going to be fantastic over time.
If you do like Sons of Anarchy, it's from that creator of Sons of Anarchy.
That's correct. It actually
Right.
is. So should be interesting. That is my pick. So make sure you guys go out there and check out all 3 of those titles, and hopefully they find some good stuff. All right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, it's that time of the show. So we near the end. We talk about the coolest thing that we saw this week. So, Craig, get us started. What was the coolest thing you saw this week?
Coolest thing I saw was there's new talks about a new Ghostbusters animated coming out maybe sometime next year. We just know very, very little about it, so we don't know. But it's supposed to be set in the year 2050, so we're probably going to get some of the descendants of the Ghostbusters or a whole new team. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope it gets picked up because it sounds kind of awesome just on what little we know about it right now.
Ghostbusters Extreme Futuroso.
I know, right? It'd be great.
Cool.
you
Yeah,
go.
Extreme Ghostbusters 2. He
Yes.
knows what's up.
Nice. There we go. All right, Freddie.
Super down
What
with
do you
that.
got for us? Coolest
If
thing
you-
you saw?
So, as you all know, Spider-Man is one of my favorite superheroes of all time. Recently, the artists who did the stills and the concept artwork for what was going to be Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4 finally said to hell with it and released the concept art. One of which confirmed a rumor that we heard for a long time that at the beginning of Spider-Man 4, Bruce Campbell was going to play Mysterio. If you go online right now and look up Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4 Mysterio Bruce Campbell, I think that's what I typed in, they have the panels of Bruce Campbell. And he's got the chin and everything in straight up Mysterio costume, and it is glorious.
It doesn't exist, but it's glorious. It never happened.
So
What could've
glorious.
been?
I
This is-
cry every night.
That's because he's an Evil Dead nut job, so that's
It's
why.
true.
To be fair, Spider-Man, Sam Raimi Spider-Man is what got me into Sam Raimi, which got me into Evil Dead.
All right, well, there you go. Worked a little bit backwards than most of us, but that's all right. So my coolest thing I saw this week is kind of reliving something from back in the day. Back in 1973, there was a movie called Westworld. It actually starred Yul Brynner and James Brolin, and this was a sci-fi thriller actually directed by Michael Crichton.
Who wrote Jurassic Park?
I know, that was a pretty good thing. So it was a movie about robot malfunction, and it creates havoc in a futuristic adult-themed amusement park. So what it basically is there were three worlds. There was Roman and medieval world and West world. So you could go to these worlds, and all the robots looked and acted just as
they
human
would.
as they came, and you could relive, fantasies in the Roman world, fantasies in the medieval world. Now, in the West world is where the main characters were set, and the robots malfunctioned. It was kind of a little more of an AI thing back
Yeah.
then. I think the new one's going to deal with more malfunctions than AI. So they start killing off
And,
the.
and Yul Brynner was in that as well,
yeah,
right?
yeah, Yul Brynner was started. Yul Brynner
Yes.
and
he
James
was-
Brolin. So
I love Yul Brynner.
but that was the one out in 1973, and now HBO has announced that they are going to be producing a series based on Westworld. So we're actually going to get a new entire series based on
Nice.
Michael Crichton's film, and it's actually done by J.J. Abrams' Bad
Bad
Robot.
Robot, yeah.
So that was going to be pretty good, and Jonathan Nolan, and he's not too shabby, and I believe he actually directed the pilot. So that is going to be coming up. Check for that. If you guys watch Game of Thrones, I believe they aired the trailer just before Game of Thrones this past Sunday. So that was the coolest thing I saw this week.
If you guys don't know, I'm a huge James Cameron fan as well. When I was looking up stuff, Westworld, if you haven't seen it, it's awesome. It's what inspired Terminator.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's an amazing film. It was well before its time on some
yeah.
of the concepts that it had about the fact that you can go into a fantasy world and
When you
reenact
get,
them.
you get the
and then-
sequel to Future World.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, Future
Yes.
World. And there was a short-lived Westworld series as well.
Was
that
it
went on.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a Westworld
Oh,
TV
that's
series. It was
interesting. I didn't
short-lived,
know
but
that.
so yeah, they're kind of, and like you said, it was a little advanced for its time.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of where we lead to now in HBO. And HBO, they've done really well with everything. So I'm looking forward to seeing how well Westworld
They
is.
do have the
And there is a
best
trailer
writers.
for it. Make sure you guys go hit YouTube, hit whatever, and check out the Westworld new TV series trailer. That thing was fantastic. So, all right, guys, we are reaching the end. You know what happens now. We get to find out who the Nerd Ninja Weekly Cosplay Contest winner is. Now, all show long, you guys have been voting, and let's take a look as a reminder of who our finalists were. And this was finalist number 1, Celine from Underworld by Stephanie Creighton.
Nice. Well
right.
done, Stephanie. I love that.
Let's see what else we got. And number 2 was Gender Bent Vegeta and Goku from Maddie Garlington.
Kakarot.
All right, and I think up on the screen, I think our engineer back there just put up the link for Westworld, so there's a link. You guys go check that out. But after the show, let's get this winner determined. And number 3, Professional Darth Vader and Boba Fett.
Nice.
They are ready for business.
Taking
They
some
are
people
ready.
out.
They mean business. Any more puns we can do with business?
His business is a booming.
It's imperial business.
There you go.
All right, and number 4, The Missing Link. Cause for Alarm cosplay.
I
That
do
is
love this.
one
This is
giant
amazing.
bone.
Yeah,
All right.
That beard really makes it, though.
it
Yes.
does.
And last again, but not least, Yoko Littner from Heaven Cosplay. All right, so we'll give you one last chance for those that tuned in late to cast your vote. To do that, it is to type in !vote, spacebar, and then the corresponding number. So one last look at all the finalists. There they are right there. And our winner this week is, who do we got there? It looks like Yoko Littner is our winner. Congratulations. All right, you have won a $25 Amazon gift card and a featured spot on the Nerd Ninja website and social media pages. And you are also automatically entered into our quarterly grand prize contest, which is actually coming up shortly. We're getting
wow,
close to
getting
that.
there, yeah.
We're going to have
Time
a
is
lot more
flying.
prizes. So remember, even if you didn't win today, you can always submit another image. We do have a weekly contest, so get out there, grab another image of your cosplays, and submit them. The submissions open about 1 hour after the show ends, and will continue until Monday at noon. So make sure you get those submissions in, and make sure you share those links so that way you can get as many votes as you can to make the top 5 finalist. All right. Well, there you go. That's our winner, Yoko Littner. Congratulations. Perfect. All right, guys. Well, we want to thank you guys for joining us on another episode of the Nerd Ninja Show. Believe it or not, this was our 25th episode. I know.
That's wow.
That's fantastic. You can catch some of the past episodes on youtube.com. And remember, if you have anything to say to us, or Craig, Angry Craig, Super
Or that
Angry
you
Craig.
hate us.
Please
know.
tell me how many great comics there were in the 90s.
Dude, you know you're gonna get spammed. With
Mark,
Do
money.
it.
Mark Silvestri.
And
Mark Silvestri.
Mark Silvestri.
He's got a point
That's
there.
all I'm going to say.
Mark
So
Silvestri.
you can send us any comments or opinions or hate mail to Greg outside of the show on any social media channel using the handle Nerd Ninja TV. All right. It's not bad, right? And for those fans of the horror show, it will be coming back soon. We've got some changes that are going to be happening with the horror show.
Cool things.
Some very
brewing.
cool things that our Fright Master Freddy over here is getting prepped up. So we'll
Nice.
take a look at those soon. So, again, for Freddy and Super Angry Craig,
Super Angry Craig.
I have been your host, Joe Uribe, and we will see you nerds next week. Take care.